Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines for February 20th. New movies 2024 news, guys, headlines. We're going to be talking about this today. It's going to be a bit of a raw show because I didn't have enough time to put in the graphics, but you know how it is. We got a bunch of stories to talk about, and we're going to be talking about Borderlands to start us off. Borderlands, first new images. Is it really the first, though? Borderlands, yes, the video game has been adapted into a full movie. We got our first images of Cate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis in Eli Roth's video game movie. Guys, I'm going to tell you this. I don't know the game, so I don't know if it's supposed to look like this, I guess. It's supposed to come out August 9th, 2024, with a trailer expected soon. The ensemble cast includes Jack Black as Claptrap, Florian Montug, Ariana Greenblatt, that's a name that we know. Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis. Cate Blanchett is Lilith, Kevin Hart as Roland, and Gina Gershon as Moxie. Edgar Ramirez, and a whole bunch of other people joining in. The plot synopsis. In the movie, Lilith is an infamous outlaw with a mysterious past, reluctantly returns to her home planet of Pandora of Avatar? No. To find the missing daughter of the universe's most powerful SOB, Atlas Ramirez. Lilith forms an alliance with an unexpected team. Okay, so it's a little bit like, well, I hate to say this, Rebel Moon. No? Yes, she forms a team. A former elite mercenary, now desperate for redemption, a bunch of team. Okay, so that's just all about the team. These unlikely heroes must battle alien monsters and dangerous bandits to find and protect the missing girl who may hold the key to an unimaginable power. The Force. The fate of the universe could be in their hands, but they'll be fighting for something more. Each other. Okay, so we got our... This is from People Magazine, and I gotta tell you, the images are not all that crisp. There's Cate Blanchett right there. That's that. Kevin Hart. Jamie Lee Curtis, and I don't know who these people are. Is that Ariana Greenblatt with the rabbit ears? No, I think that's just a hat. I don't know if that's supposed to be part of her body. If the ears are supposed to be part of her body, they look not so good. But yeah, and there's the robot there. And then you got this image of Cate Blanchett here. Let me see if I can brighten that up a little bit. This image I like, and this just goes to affirm again that Cate Blanchett is definitely in my top 5 favorite actresses of all time because of things like this, of her versatility, how she could be in like Thor Ragnarok, and then in normal dramas like Tar, which she was fantastic in. Like, she's just got one of the biggest, widest ranges as an actress that you could possibly hope to have. And I think it looks like costuming looks great. It all depends on that teaser, right? This is an image that came out, it seems like a year and a half ago. This project was announced like 3 years ago, guys, and it feels like they shot it, but then the pandemic happened, so it kind of froze things, and then it's kind of like it was held up in limbo for a while. I think it was supposed to come out last year, but then it got pushed. So there is a myriad of things that have surrounded this movie that have given pause, and I think that there was a report out there that the executives were not exactly too happy with the kind of, well, images that they were getting, at least, you know, some of the dailies. So Eli Roth can be hit or miss. I know that people like Hostel. I own it in my catalog. Cabin Fever. Yeah. He's got a style, right? What was that one in the jungle? That one didn't. He has a knack of casting his wife in things, just like Rob Zombie. And sometimes it doesn't work. Most of the time it doesn't work. But at least this one, it does look like there's other people in the cast that are going to be there to carry it. Let's go in to see if there's any comments here. 5 comments. That I can't see for some reason. LOL, I'm excited to finally see a trailer because I have no doubts the movie's going to be one gigantic acrid turd, sorry. So, yeah. People are not optimistic about this. The individual picture of Kate looks weird. Something is off with her face. Movie better be good, somebody says. Are you serious? It's a movie based on a video game that is directed by Eli Roth and stars Kevin Hart. No, I'm going to give that a thumbs down. Get bent. Yeah, so it's mixed. So people said that the image looks weird. What's weird about this? Is it her hair? I don't think so. She did dye her hair like that, because I did look at pictures online of her on set. Whatever, I can't find them. But Borderlands, guys, new images. What do you think? With the trailer soon, hopefully that'll give us a little bit more of a picture as will Lionsgate deliver with this. August 9th, 2024. You guys think? Yeah, let me know in the comments. All right. Yeah, so being a bit of a raw show today, what we're doing is we're just pulling a bunch of stories. We're going to be talking about them, maybe watching them. Also coming out this year is a movie called Civil War. New footage of Alex Garland's American Apocalypse. The second trailer from A24. Yeah, so hopefully they'll have a new...
Citizens of America.
A new trailer playing in the theaters. Of course, you know that this is from Alex Garland. Stars Kirsten Dunst there that we can see. Yeah. Wagner, Hours, Stephen McKinley, Henderson, Kaylee Spaney. And I'm looking forward to this, man. The studio behind Moonlight, Ex Machina, The Witch, 8th Grade, Hereditary, yeah, A24. I'm going to think about buying some stock in A24 maybe. Yeah, because they've been producing a lot of good stuff. Now, this one is going to be controversial because the talks about having a civil war in the States is very topical right now. If one person loses the presidential race, then, oh, we're going to get through, it's going to be a civil war. It's like, guys, it's just a political race. There's no need to go to arms with each other. But anyway, this is, I think, going to echo those kinds of sentiments, especially in the first trailer when you saw them kind of like talking to each other, saying, well, what kind of an American are you, right? Like that was haunting from... oh, they're not showing it here. Why is his name not in here? All right. Why am I drawing a blank here? Hey, James, will you be reviewing the Bob Marley biopic? Hourglass Viking says, yes, I will be. Jesse Plemons. Yeah, there we go. Jesse Plemons. He's also in this. Yes, I'm seeing Bob Marley this afternoon at 1:15. So I'll pay attention later on today for my straight out of the theater reaction for that. But the trailer looks good, and I'm excited for it for one reason primarily as well. Yeah, because I like Kirsten Dunst as an actress. Jesse Plemons looks like he's going to be menacing in this, and it's got Kaylee Spaney in it. So if you don't know who Kaylee Spaney is, she's a young up and coming actress. There she is right there. She was in Priscilla last year, which I really liked. And I was hoping that it would get more nominations and stuff like that for the award season. But she's also going to be in that new Alien Romulus that comes out this August with Borderlands. Really? So she's going to go up against Borderlands. But I think Alien is one project is that I'm always going to be interested in because I like horror, I like sci-fi kind of stuff, and I like Kaylee Spaney as an actress. Looks like she's going to be going to some tough places here. It's like, yeah, it's going to be a tough movie to watch because, as I said, for that topical reason, like what kind of American are you kind of thing, right? But Alex Garland, if you liked Ex Machina, I liked Annihilation. Men was a little bit weird. I watched it because of Jesse Buckley, but he's definitely got an eye. New trailer. Let's see what people are saying in the comment section. True science fiction is imagining an alliance between Texas and California. You know, all of the filmmakers who could make a subject on this one. I'm glad it's Alex Garland. Once he often knows how to bring the right nuance, commentary, and themes to the surface, like something like this. There are so many wrong ways you can make a film like this, but something tells me he'll find a way to do it just right. Yeah, yeah, that's what I like. That's a good comment because, you know, there's people out there, they'll be like, oh, this is a commentary on the right wing establishment in the United States. Oh, no, this is an attack against the left wing faction of the United States. And it's kind of like Alex Garland will be able to find that mix kind of like in the middle that'll like not offend too many people, but it'll be like bringing it to the forefront, guys. Like, as I said, it's topical right now because of, well, it is like in an election year in the States. So it's kind of like, this is kind of like a word of caution kind of thing, right? Guys, you guys are talking about civil war. Is this what you really want to do? Because this is sort of what it would be like, you turning on each other kind of thing. And it's like, well, what kind of an American are you? Well, I'm a patriot. What do you mean? Well, are you my type of patriot? What do you mean by that? I mean, I stand behind the United States, not a party, not a person. I stand for the United States. That's, I think, where Alex Garland will finally land with what he's trying to make his points of. And yeah, he'll show sides, the different sides and stuff like that. It's going to be, I'm curious to see how it's going to be received. I think the extreme sides of the left and the right will reject it. But I think for us common sense middle ground people, will be kind of like, oh, I understand what this is an allegory for. I understand what this is supposed to be. So, new Civil War trailer, guys. It's just curious. Didn't we do this before? Like, why isn't, oops, sorry. Why isn't Jesse Plemons not like being listed here on the IMDb? Nick Offerman's there as the president. It's really weird, isn't it? Because he was so prominent in the first trailer. He pretty much sold me the movie. It's curious. Civil War 2024, guys. New trailer due out April 12th. That's, what, 7 weeks away? No, 6 weeks away. It's getting close. And March is going to be so busy. We got like Ghostbusters, Godzilla X Kong, I think, comes out as well. Oof. Dune Part 2, huge. And then when April comes in, it's going to be a good time at the movies, guys. Yeah. So, just to address that question from Artglass there in the live chat, I am going to see Bob Marley One Love this afternoon because it's $5 Tuesdays. $5 Tuesdays. And let me just pull up the seat chart. Gray is taken, so there's a lot of open seats. It's weird today that we've got matinees at 1 o'clock because it's just a normal work week. It's not March break yet for people. But I'm going to take advantage of it, and I'm going to go sit with a big bag of popcorn and watch Bob Marley One Love. Just enjoy the music, hopefully. Norwegian horror movie Kraken will unleash a mythical monster in 2025. Talking about monsters. The Kraken, huh? Norwegian film. Is that the poster? Let's blow that up a little bit. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Okay, so we see what looks to be like an octopus beak. Is that a beak or is that an eye? Over a let's see if I can take my crop out and we can take a better look at it there. Yeah. Is that a beak? I think it's a beak. It looks like a squid or something, right? Giant Kraken. Pre-production, huh? The Legend of the Kraken comes to screen upcoming Norwegian monster movie, THR shares. Okay. The guy who directed The Tunnel. There's no word on casting, but the thriller will follow Johan, a marine biologist who encounters several strange occurrences while researching a fjord, including the brutal deaths of 2 local teenagers at the bottom of Norway's deepest fjords, rests a mythical monster as large as a mountain, with a myriad of arms ready to crush and devour anything that they can grab. Well, hey, I like creature features. Kraken. Any comments on this one? Could a creature that size of a mountain really hide and live in a fjord? Not that large, but we really don't know what's down there. I might set this aboard a jack-up rig platform. Release it, somebody says. Well, yeah. This could be amazing. I don't need or even want Meg or Meg 2 type huge budget creature feature, but I hope it will capture a creature in the film, even if it's just showing some tentacles or whatever. Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting from the poster. You're going to see the creature. You can't have a creature feature movie without showing the creature, right? Even Jaws conceded in some stuff, right? Hopefully this movie will be a cracking good time. Yes, I'm rooting for the Kraken. LOL. Somebody says, the Seattle Kraken? No, I don't know. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that one. Arglass says, Jesse Plemons is a sinister character in Civil War. I'm conflicted as to how his character arc will end up, like Jesse, but just want his character to meet a just end. Maybe he's only in it briefly. Yeah, maybe he's only in that one scene. Let me pull up that Civil War first trailer. Yeah, this part, right? Because it's possible that maybe he's only in this one scene where he's kind of like, yeah, what kind of an American are you? Yeah, it is creepy. Let me turn on the sound here for you guys so we can give it a quick listen.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you?
Yeah, it's that question alone that's like so scary, right? Well, what do you mean? It's because people are putting a line. Are you a right winger or a left winger? It's like that doesn't matter, guys. I'm for the country first, and that's where the divide is. Somehow in the political game in the States, the the heads of the parties have been able to. There's been a split down the line where no, you're putting your party before your country kind of thing, and you've allowed that to happen. You've made it okay for that to happen, and it's like no, that should not happen. That should not happen. I'm not a liberal or a conservative first. I'm a Canadian first, right? I'm not an NDP member or anything like that, Green Party. I'm not like that. I may vote for one of them in either the provincial or the federal levels, but I don't devote myself to one party kind of thing, right? Uh, Somehow in the States, people have been conditioned to say, well, no, I'm Republican first, then I'm an American kind of thing. Like, what? A lot of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Hey, James, did you get to review that movie last night, James? Uh, no. No, I got busy doing a bunch of stuff yesterday. Uh, it's just one of those things where hey, I only get a certain number of days off during the weekend. We try to do these kinds of shows and content. But I will be doing Bob Marley later on today. Okay, let's continue on with some more headlines. The Penguin series finishes filming. Good. Set for stage for Mac's debut. It's weird because they started shooting this series like last February, I think, is when they started production. And then it ran into the roadblocks of like the strikes and stuff like that. So they finally wrapped that up. And I think it's only going to be like 5 or 6 episodes. But I'm looking forward to it because I like Colin Farrell. And his transformation into the Penguin was just kind of like, wow. Yeah, like he's unrecognizable, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Of course, the series picks up after what is that? That dog with a Catwoman cowl on. I like that. Yeah, the series takes place after the first Batman movie, where Cobblepot is trying to pick up the pieces of like the crime syndicate, right? If people will accept him as the leader, kind of thing. And there's been reports that perhaps Pattinson was spotted on set. If we're going to see him maybe kind of interact with what's been going on with the Penguin. We know that whatever happens in the series, it's got to have an impact in the world of what happens in the Batman 2, right? It's going to have an impact. Now, Matt Reeves is not directing the Penguin series, he's producing it. And I think he had a hand in writing it, if he didn't just outright write it himself. Matt Reeves' Arkham Asylum and the Penguin promise fresh perspectives in the DC universe. Well, it's definitely fresh. And this is one of those situations where, guys, we're not confused as the audience. We're not, like, I don't hear anybody coming out of the Batman, watching Pattinson's Batman and saying, well, isn't he going to be fighting Cavill's Superman or Aquaman? No. We understand as fans that this is a standalone kind of universe kind of thing. So it can be done. So it stands to reason that we can also accept two different Supermans, James Gunn. Aye. Anyway, aside from that dog, it's wrapped. It's supposed to come out this year. And I'm looking forward to it. We will be watching this series, guys. Full live watch-alongs. Now, I don't think the dog is in the series. Not looking like that. What is this? How fitting the Catwoman should show up at the office at the last day of shooting the Penguin. Oh, so that's somebody's dog who works in the office there. Okay. Hey, it made me laugh. Yeah, so that's good news. Heading in the right direction. Maybe a teaser for that will drop pretty soon, too. You think it would, right? Let's talk about some speculation. Deadpool and Wolverine sparks speculations after Marvel's subtle nod to Taylor Swift. Could Taylor Swift be Dazzler? She would be the perfect person to do it. She can act, guys. She can act. Although she's going to be busy because this year she's going to wrap up the Eras tour from the European tour, and she's coming back to Canada for some performances. And then, from what I understand, she's going to be going in to produce and start making her own first feature debut, which is not going to have a lot of time to start a family or anything like that. So, I don't know. Travis Kelce, you might be sitting on your hands for a little bit on that one, which is fine by me, but whatever. Marvel's cryptic clues point to a potential role for Taylor Swift in Deadpool and Wolverine. Somebody thought she might be like the female version of Wolverine because this is going to be a multiverse thing. We know that because that's how they're going to bring in Wolverine, right? And we're going to see different iterations of Deadpool, Dogpool, or whatever, right? So Marvel's strategic release of a poster featuring friendship bracelets has sparked rumors of Swift's involvement in the film. Well, we've seen, because of the football over the last couple of months, we know that Sean Levy, Ryan Reynolds are friends with Taylor Swift, and Sean Levy's like the director, and Sean Levy's worked with Taylor Swift in the past, so it's kind of like, okay, people want this speculation. Are they going to will this into existence, or was it always a plan to have her in there as a cameo or whatever? I'm a Taylor Swift fan, so I'll be watching whatever. Here are the bracelets: Deadpool, Wolverine, July 2025. People are really grasping at straws. I look at those bracelets and nothing about that screams Taylor Swift. Nothing. Is it the colors on the date one? I don't know. They sure are loud. I'm going to across the board no comment because that's a double whammy. That's Taylor related and it's MCU related. I'm no dummy. You're going to have to wait to see, says the director Sean Levy. Of course, we got the teaser out the other day, which was awesome. Deadpool and Wolverine. They speculate to her role. I don't know. Some things that would be cool just to leave as like a surprise. Like yesterday we did the story of Anya Taylor-Joy having a mystery role in Dune Part 2. I wish that was kept secret before, so that I was in the theater and I was like, oh, cool. It would be awesome if they could keep this a secret. And if she shows up, I'll be like, ah, cool. Like that kind of thing, right? But we are movie fans, so we do watch these headlines and stuff like that. We keep our nose to the ground. Do you think Penguin's character will return in Batman 2? Most definitely, Chris. I think the Penguin like as I said, the events of him taking over the syndicate and stuff is definitely going to have some kind of impact on Gotham. So that would make sense that it would have an impact and whatever's going to happen in Batman 2. Chris Strober says, James, I hope Deadpool and Wolverine isn't going to be cringy. Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be like that edgy, fourth wall breaking, kind of like wink wink at the camera kind of humor. And it always has had that danger of riding that line of, is it too much? But they've always been able to ride that line fairly well. So I think that we should be safe with Deadpool 3 not being too hammy or anything like that. Next. Oof. Do I want to talk about that one? No, I want to move that to the back, guys. This is the advantage of not having a sidebar of what we're talking about. Oh, I guess I can put up my social media bans. Oops. Everyone forgets about James Cameron's first film because he probably well, he did disown it. I don't forget it. I know that Piranha 2 is his first film, even though he was fired in the last couple weeks of production. But I agree with him. Cameron said it best. There's never been a finer movie about flying fish. Piranha 2, The Spawning. Yes. Guys, it's a bad movie. It's a schlock. But it introduced me to an actress, Trisha O'Neill, I think it was. I liked her. She also showed up in a couple of Star Trek Next Generation episodes. Yeah, there she is in Spawn, right? And it had some Cameron flair to it. You'll know what I mean when you watch the opening scene and there's some nudity. And then you got fish coming out of people's mouths or flying into people's mouths. It's ridiculous towards the end. Yeah. But I had fun with it. It's not one that I want to have in my catalog or anything like that. But I remember, so I don't see why anybody else can. And why are we talking about this right now? I don't know. Best flying piranha film ever made. From James Cameron, yeah. Who also co-wrote the script under the pseudonym H.A. Milton with Roger Corman alums Charles Eagley. Okay. I remember it. Wonder if it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi. Maybe we can watch it together, except for that opening scene. What did he say in a 2010 interview? He said about this. I was sick with high fever and had a dream of this chrome metallic death figure coming out of the fire. Oh, he's talking about Terminator. That's not about Piranha 2. That's enough about that story. Next. Has an abysmal box office launch for Sony's Madame Web doomed hopes for a new franchise? Well, most definitely. Yeah, we're not getting any more Madame Web. I don't expect, if they ever go back to Madame Web, we're not going to see Dakota Johnson's version of it. We're going to see the old lady version of it. I don't, like, Dakota Johnson has even said herself that she hasn't seen the movie. She hasn't seen the final cut. Although she was at the premiere wearing a rather revealing dress. Craven the Hunter is feeling a bit worried today. Yeah, they actually thought it was going to be a hit. Yeah, I don't know why. Sony has already said this was a different universe from the Sonyverse films like Venom and Morbius, which means Sony was going to have to disconnect Spider-Man franchises. So some people are trying to go to bat for it, it seems like. I wouldn't waste the time. I'm being honest, I don't think Sony planned on making sequels to Madame Web before the release. No, I don't think they did either. Even if they had ideas, they wanted to see how it did in theaters, which is not going well. While there's definitely no sequel happening, it's strange to accuse Sony of planning on one when they haven't even announced it. I'm sure Craven the Hunter and Venom 3 will be much better. Oh, that's optimistic. That's an optimistic appraisal. I think Craven the Hunter is going to come and um, and really crap the bed. Worse than Madame Web? No, but it's gonna just augment that kind of like, ugh, what are you guys thinking? What are you doing? Um, because there's an arrogance and pompous to Craven the Hunter. I'm the best hunter. I should be hunting the most elite prey and stuff like that. I don't want to sympathize with a guy like that. I don't. You know? Yeah, it was his arrogance that I'm going to hunt Spider Man that was intriguing. Claims to be the best hunter. So there was that matchup kind of thing, right? I think they. The thing with Craven the Hunter was supposed to come out last year, but they shelved it for a whole year. It's done. It's sitting on the shelf. Sony has not been making very good decisions, and it's going to come back to bite them. And it is biting them. It's biting them in the butt right now, right? Chris Schober, if we do get anything with Madame Web, I'm not watching it. If we get any sequel, James, or Madame Web, I'm not watching it. Yeah, if you're interested in any of these actresses, maybe you want to see it for that. Sydney Sweeney was my first exposure to her was meh. And this actress here, I forget her name. She was interesting. I want to see more from her. Let's move on. Michael Keaton promises Beetlejuice will feel like original, but will it? Yes. Now this is a trailer that we should be getting soon for, right? Beetlejuice 2? It's showtime. We have until summer to find out what Beetlejuice is in store. Yes. Speaking with People magazine, Michael Keaton was quoted saying, quote, "It's the most fun I've had on set in a long time. On one hand, you'd go, well, of course it's the most fun. It looks like fun. As you know, it doesn't always work like that. Fortunately, it has worked out for Keaton's favor. The one thing that Tim Burton and I decided on early on from the beginning is if we ever did it again, I was totally not interested in doing something where there was too much technology. I had to feel handmade. What made it fun was watching someone in the corner actually holding something up for you, to watch everybody in the shrunken headroom say, those people are under there operating these things, trying to get it right. Which I hear that, yes, Beetlejuice 2 is going to go back to those practical makeup effects, which is okay, fine. It's just, I want to see him in the makeup again and just unleashing his acting muscles, right? I want to see him just kind of just let it go. And it seems like Tim Burton and him are on the same page about like the approach to the character that we all liked. So it should deliver it to us. And plus it's got Jenna Ortega, right? It's slated for September 6th. Okay, September 6th. So, no, we're still, March, April, May, June, July, August. So 7 months away still. Should be getting our first teaser. It feels like it, right? It feels like we're going to get our first teaser. I thought maybe at the Super Bowl we would get a teaser, but we'll keep our eye on that one. Okay, let's move on. Blade Runner 2099, Jonathan Van Tuliken will serve as director of Prime Video series, which starts shooting in April. So they are making a Blade Runner series 2099, which will set it 50 years after 2049, obviously. So I don't expect any of these characters to show up. Maybe Jared Leto's character. Maybe. But do you want to see a series of this? Game of Thrones director Jeremy Podeswa was originally tapped to direct, but had to exit. And now Jonathan Van Tuliken has signed on to replace him. In addition to directing the first 2 episodes of the series, he'll serve as an executive producer. So he's done things like he did the first 2 episodes of Shogun, okay, and how Misfits, Trust, Upload, and The Changeling. So he's done some TV stuff. Shooting in Belfast this summer. I don't know where you go with this. Uh, more replicant breeding, like Blade Runner 2049 is a masterpiece in my book. I know that everybody praises Blade Runner, the first one. It's like this high technical thing. It's like which version of the original one? There's so many different cuts. Um, and I found that some of the scenes just don't age all that well, like the way that he comes on to Sean Young's character, basically forces himself upon her. I don't like that. But like, I mean, Rutger Hauer's speech at the end, talking about like the places that he's seen and stuff like that, like the Tears in the Rain monologue, great stuff. Daryl Hannah, like all of that, I thought that was great. But as I said, it really depends on the cut that they're using, right? No comments on that one. So if they're shooting it this year, spec 2025 when this will come up. And I don't even know who will be in the cast. But now that we got the director and it's basically showrunner for it, I guess those details will be coming along, right? Shining Girls creator Sika Louisa is the writer, showrunner, and executive producer for the series. Okay. So she's the producer, or Silka Louisa or whatever. And Ridley Scott is on board as an executive producer. Okay. So he'll have his input on it. You know, I would rather have Denis Villeneuve's input on it. I would. Because as I said, I think 2049 is a masterpiece. It's just so breathtakingly beautiful. It's one of those movies that I wish I saw it in the IMAX. But we'll have to see. Next, Christopher Nolan has banned Uggs from his sets. What? That he doesn't find them aesthetically pleasing? What's going on here? Acting for Christopher Nolan is a dream for a lot of actors. They just can't show up wearing Uggs. So he's got some kind of prejudice, huh? About the stories of him banning Uggs from the sets. Okay. Stephen Colbert asked. Ah, the Uggs controversy. I try to minimize distractions. Even though we're all engaged in this absurd process where the wall is real, but the lights and a guy with a microphone, you're asking the actor to focus in on reality. So everything you can do, like wearing the correct shoes or whatever, not changing your trousers, anything that you can do to keep that reality, that bubble intact. Oh, okay. So basically, he's saying, because, yeah, the shot is framed on your head and your upper body. We're not going to see your feet, but please wear the rest of your costume so we can maintain, uh, character. You know, some people just will like they'll wear the upper part of their costumes and then wear shorts and sandals or Uggs in this case. He just feels like he loses the tangibility of, I guess, the authenticity behind things. Uh, I got no problem with Uggs. Hey, whatever. But if he wants to maintain that integrity for his sets, he is Christopher Nolan. He's probably going to win the Best Director Academy Award this year. I don't see why he shouldn't. Hey, just a little quirk, a little bit of fun. What do you guys think about some Uggs? All right, we got a couple of stories of people-based stories, as we've seen here with Christopher Nolan. Ozzy Osbourne goes off on that guy over War Pigs usage and paranoid over music theft. Yeah, well, of course we know that a lot of R&B, hip hop kind of stuff uses samples. And of course, this guy here has had a new album out or something. Did he sample War Pigs? Of course, I'd cry foul. I'd shut that down. Um, I know that there's still a lot of people out there that can't separate the artist from like the work and stuff like that. But I think for me, my from what I've observed, this guy right here has proven that he should not be in the public limelight. If you want to be a musician, there's ways of producing music and putting music out without showing your face or being out there to promote it. I think you should go that route. Like Sia has done it, Melanie Martinez does it. So why can't I'm not even going to pronounce his name, guys, because of past comments that he's made. So I'd be on Ozzy Osbourne's side on this one. I'd be crying foul. This one came up yesterday too. Danny Masterson transferred from maximum security prison to California men's colony. Of course, he was accused of well, uh, sexual assault, guys. He was convicted and he was sentenced to what was it, one lifetime. So he got sent to a maximum prison, and then he got word that the gangs in the prison had put out a hit on him, basically kind of like to beat him up on a daily basis kind of thing. So he didn't leave his cell when the things opened up. So guards were like having to bring him food, and then one day he was trying to go to the commissary with under guard escort, and he was still jumped. He was jumped, right? So he got transferred there. I don't condone any of the actions that he's done to earn his stay in the Gray Bar Hotel. Um, I just thought this was worth talking about because he's a celebrity and now he gets moved into a nicer, minimal security prison. But I do think that that's where he's going to spend the rest of his days. So it's kind of like, yeah. He says that he didn't do it. Well, amount of evidence says otherwise, dude. Let's change. It's still on people, but it's a little bit more humorous. Ben Henson discusses David Bowie's controversial codpiece in the Labyrinth, the Bowie Bulge. He says it changes sizes. Does it? The Goblin King's codpiece. It's always been kind of like a point of contention. It's kind of like, guys, yeah. Who is it that Jeremy Johns said it, right? Because he's wearing like very tight pants. And I guess he can't be shown having Mr. Willie kind of like the outline of it. So they gave him a cod piece. And apparently there's different sizes of it. Jeremy Johns' review of this is the best. That's where I got the Bowie bulge from, right? I don't know why people are still talking about this. Labyrinth 2 is happening, Brian Henson confirms. Oh, is that why we're talking about this? Obviously, it won't be with David Bowie, rest in peace. But maybe there'll be a new Goblin King. And at the same time, it's so daring and different, and that it is a tough movie for a studio to feel competent that it has been enough commercial value to earn a profit. So I think that it's a tough nut to crack, but all I can tell you is I'm very proud of the work that we did on it, and we certainly had a great film in mind. Is the sequel still happening? Well, that's the question. You have to ask my sister Lisa, who is co-CEO of the Jim Henson Company. That is a project that we are very excited about, but we can't talk about. And you know what? Jennifer Connelly could still come back in some capacity. Maybe it's her children that go into the labyrinth this time, right? Jennifer Connelly seems like she would be somebody who'd be playing ball with that. Great actress. She's one who's aged remarkably well. Stunning beauty. Labyrinth movie is a continuation, not a remake, says the writer. So they've been writing scripts. They've been trying to hammer out a story for it. Keep our eyes open for that. Chris Shower says, do you think French just will be the main villain in Deadpool and Wolverine? James, because I'm just wondering, because I want to see that one. Could you give me a little clue? Do you think, no, for you mean Francis? No, isn't he dead? No, it's Deadpool 3's, from what I understand, is more of like a buddy road trip movie between Deadpool and Wolverine to go accomplish some goal. Yeah, they'll meet up and they'll fight each other as we seen on the beach scene and in the trailer and stuff. But then after that, they kind of have to work together to solve whatever crisis is happening with the fracture, I guess, of the multiverse of some kind. We've seen in the trailers that he Um, he does go talk to the TVA, so I'm guessing that one version of Deadpool dies, right? Have you ever done a watch along movie for a standoff movie 2016 Lawrence Fishburne? No, I haven't. All right, one last controversial subject. Gender equity in film will only be reached in 2020, 2215. What? In Canada, 2085 in the UK, 2041 in Germany at current pace. Then what's it going to be in the US? 2,300. Um, Guys, this is the kind of thing where I, this is a very delicate uh, thing to negotiate through without trying to put your foot in your mouth, kind of thing. Uh, because at the base of it, it's kind of it's got some logical flaws, kind of thing. Um, should a female director get as paid as much as a male director? Well, it depends on the project, right? It also depends on what the length of what that director has to do for that project. Are they also the writer and producer? There's so many factors that vary that go into this. It's kind of like it's really hard to dance and find out that line. Where is it going to be? Do I want to see more female directors and actresses get their fair shake at getting equal pay and stuff like that? Yes, but then as I said, it depends on the amount of responsibility that role takes on for that particular project. Because each project that comes along, those factors change. So I don't know what they're doing with this kind of article. I think this kind of article is just meant to stir the feathers up. Kind of like, well, there isn't going to be much change until 2020, 22, like 200 years from now, basically, is what you're saying. And no, who knows if I don't even think we'll be watching films in 200 years. Well, we may, but it'll be all up here. It'll be kind of like I'm putting on my headset. I'm sitting here and be like, what are you doing, James? Oh, I'm watching a movie. You're watching a movie on what? On your glasses? No, it's going straight into my brain. What are you doing? That kind of thing, right? That's the kind of place we'll be. I don't even know if we'll have bodies in 2015, in 2215. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things that was going to be involved in our evolvement is getting rid of this flesh. So, yeah, like, why be confined to these bodies? And by 2215, we better have a good handle on that. Where gender may be kind of a thing of the past. Do you want to be a girl now? Or do you want to be a boy now? Oh, you want to be a boy for 100 years? We'll print you off a body in the 3D printers, and then you can experience being a human male for 100 years. Oh, you want to be a female now? Well, okay, we'll print you up a female body. You can be in a female body for a while. It'll be like that, guys. We're going to get to that. Anyway, it's more a bit of an abstract conversation there with abstract logic and stuff. I just thought it was kind of a weird headline. Chris Schober says James Avatar and The Last Airbender official trailer just dropped on YouTube right now. Okay, I'm not really all that interested in Avatar Airbender. As I said, I never grew up with it. I wasn't somebody who thought that Shyamalan's Airbender was a travesty, like some people thought it was. Because, as I said, I never saw the series. I didn't know what it was supposed to look like. So when I watched, it's kind of like One Piece. I had no idea what it was supposed to look like. I guess it was supposed to look like that. And I didn't like it. So anyway, where are we at? Let's go on to some Twitter headlines. Start rounding up the show. Tomorrow will be another news day, guys. We'll be back for some new stuff. But as I said, later on today, I am in 2 hours from now, I'm jumping out to see Bob Marley. Will Sharp to star as composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in limited series Amadeus. Happy 37th birthday to Miles Teller. Well, happy birthday, dude. He's got some versatility. He does. First look at Borderlands. Yeah, we covered that. We looked at that. God, Kate Blanchett. Let's talk about aging gracefully. She's. I don't know why people are complaining about that picture. I think that picture looks awesome. Four separate theatrical films are in the works from each member of the Beatles. Sam Mendes will direct all four films, said to be interconnected stories, one from each band member's point of view. Sam Mendes, huh? Interesting. Which one would you watch first? Which movie would you watch first? For me, it would either be Paul or John. Probably, I watched John first, then Paul. Yeah. Sorry, Ringo, you'd be the last one I would watch. Although you hear Ringo talk about drumming and about his approach to songs and stuff like that. Well, of course he's extremely knowledgeable, but it's cool to hear him talk about, like, yeah, sometimes you put in too much, you got to dial it back some, and it's kind of like is very, very interesting stuff. I'd watch all of them, even George. Yeah, of course, Harrison. New trailer for Civil War. Yeah, we talked about that. Zone of Interest is now available on VOD and digital platforms. Barry Kilgan, rocking some weird costumes. I don't know what that's about. Okay. W Magazine's director's issue. He's got some kind of armor on there. Very old school armor. I hear that stuff is really heavy too. I put on chainmail once, like actual chainmail, and it's really heavy, man. It's hard to breathe in it. I guess that's what you would want if you're fighting in a war with swords. And imagine, yeah, they used to wear like chainmail and then put on plate armor on top of it too, right? Eesh. The Hands of Dante. Scorsese will play a small role in an upcoming crime mystery. Yeah, he's cameoed in stuff before. He was a, a cab uh, customer in Taxi Driver, right? We look at the rom-com How to Date Billy Walsh. Okay, debuts on Prime. Voting for the Oscars begins in 2 days. Yeah. Bridget Mendler reveals she is now a mother of a 4-year-old boy she adopted in 2022. I don't know who that is. But, yeah, there's lots of kids out there that need families. You don't always have to create it the old-fashioned way. Leo Woodall. Don't know who that is. Christopher Nolan left a note on Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer script. Dearest Cillian, finally a chance to see you lead. Well, that's cool. Yeah, and giving him a vote of confidence. And he did a fantastic job. I just don't know if Cillian's going to win the Best Actor. Everybody thought that he was a shoo-in, but Paul Giamatti might give him a run for his money. I wouldn't be surprised if we get there Oscar night and it's kind of like Best Actor goes to Paul Giamatti. Oh, yeah, that'll be like one of the deciding factors on people's pools. Who's going to win or lose? It's kind of hard not to go with Cillian Murphy, but Paul Giamatti did so well, so good. Quinta Brunson was on Hot Ones, huh? Taylor Russell. I'll tell you this about Bones and All. She was good in it. I didn't like the execution of the story for Bones and All, where she's a cannibal. Like the opening scene where she's with her friends and they're like doing each other's hair or whatever, and one of her friends puts her thumb near her mouth, and then she just goes, ah. There was good things about it. There was. And she was a big part of it, right? Amita Suman. Abbott Elementary. Dominic Sessa. Okay, that's where we left off yesterday. All right, I don't really have that much more in the can. And where are we at? Coming up at 56 minutes. Go over to the Reddit. I don't like how it's all along the top anymore. Civil War trailer. I hide my communities? Yeah, I can. Best non-preachy movies about racism. That's tough. Because that's like Boys in the Hood is it really preachy? Um, Higher Learning is definitely preachy a little bit, but it's very hard hitting. Um, American History X, would you call that preachy? In the Heat of the Night, or Guess Who's Coming to Dinner kind of thing? Is that all preachy? To Kill a Mockingbird? Looking for depressing movies. Wow. Action movie quotes delivered just before all hell breaks loose. Nimona is now on. Yeah, I heard that they were moving Nimona over to YouTube. Yeah, it is. It's totally there. So this movie's fully on YouTube now, huh? Hold on. This was on Netflix. Weird. So they all released this. Maybe this was their drive to make it because Oscar voting is out, and they want to have this one under for best animated film, right? Nimona. Have you guys watched this? So the entire movie's on YouTube for free, guys. An hour and 26 minutes. Which means if it's there for free, we should be able to do a full watch along and show you the entire film. I don't know. I don't know if I want to risk it. But who is the voice actors in this? Yeah, I don't want to show the entire movie just in case. Well, it's free now. They may put it back on Netflix after the award season voting is done, and then they'll say, "Well, no, you used the entire footage, so copyright strike." And it's like, because that they can uh, retroactively do something after the fact. Yeah. All right. I think that's all I got, guys. Yeah, it's 11:30. Whatever. So pay attention later on today for my straight out of the theater reaction for Bob Marley One Love. Uh, Probably like around 4:30 is when I should get that up. And if not, see you tomorrow for more movie news headlines. And I'm going to try another short later on today as well. Or no, I'm going to do the Bob Marley short. Yeah, I'll do that one instead. All right. See you next time. Thumbs up. Enjoy the rest of your day. You're watching Mirror Domains.